It's Young Hustle in the house. What? You already know how this shit go. Marathon, whoa. Hey, it's Young Hustle when I'm about to make it crack. Got a rollie on my wrist and my city on my back. Shout out the bitches on the stage getting racks. Told her it's a marathon, now she out here running laps. Hey, chip on my shoulder for niggas that hated on us.
Exhibit 11, Cam 5, played by Mr. McKinney. Okay, up to 14:11:11. On the video, it appears a man walked by, placed something on the hood of that truck, and kept walking in that direction. Do you see that? Yes. Did you have an opportunity to see this at the location when you were there reviewing the video? Yes. And did you believe that had some potential evidentiary value to the case? Yes. Let me go a little bit further to 14:12:18. Actually, started at 14:12:05 and direct your attention to the same right side of the video. Exhibit 11, Cam 5, played by Mr. McKinney. Okay, ending at 14:12:20. It appeared the same man who walked by earlier went running back towards 58th place. Did you have an opportunity to see that as it appears here on this exhibit while you were at the location? Yes. You said you collected video from another camera. Is that true? Yes. And that would be Cam 21. That is true. Let me show you from Grand Juror Exhibit 11, clip Cam 21. Do you recognize what's shown here? Yes, this is camera 21 that we were speaking of, that is pointed again in a westerly direction, near the entrance of the car wash of the Shell station, capturing the alley that separates the Shell station from the location of the shooting. I'm gonna go forward to 14:11:08 as it appears on the video timestamp. I'll start it at 14:11:05. Exhibit 11, Cam 21, played by Mr. McKinney. And I'm just gonna let it play through. At the top of the screen, you see the man in the red shirt, gray pants, white shoes? Yes. Does that appear to be the same person that got picked up by camera 5? Yes. Given the position of these two cameras, is it true that in walking in the direction that we just saw him walking, he would have come into view of camera 5 first before coming into view of camera 21? Correct. As we look at the video, on the right hand side of the video, is that the Marathon parking lot? The right hand side. In the upper right hand side, yes. So if one were walking in the direction that I'm tracing this cursor, and I'm tracing it from left to right at the top of the video, one would be walking back towards the Marathon parking lot, correct? Toward the location where the homicide occurred, yes. And at 14:12:15, we just saw what appeared to be the same man in the red shirt run opposite direction back towards 58th place. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. That would be running away from the location of where the homicide occurred. And is it your testimony that this is the video that you collected that accurately reflects what you collected on the day that you went out to the location? Yes, sir. All right. Thank you. Mr. McKinney, no further questions. Ms. Annalie Roca. Grand jurors, if you have a question, please raise your hand so the sergeant at arms can collect them. And while that's happening, I have a question for clarification. Camera 6, 5, and 21 all had that same time lapse. The witness. Correct. Ms. Annalie Roca. Right? The witness. They were all the same. Showed the same time, and they were all 67 minutes slow. Ms. Annalie Roca. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. And if you could just very briefly tell the grand jurors what your intel unit does. So primarily, a lot of what we do is what you see here. We collect surveillance video from locations, not only at the location, but we canvass the area for additional surveillance in the surrounding area, entrances and exits, points of escape. We also canvass while we're doing video surveillance in an attempt to. We dress like this so that we can attempt to talk to citizens who are sort of reluctant to talk to detectives and police in uniform. Sometimes they're a little more approachable when we're not wearing, I wouldn't be wearing my police jacket, but when we're kind of in soft clothes. Miss Annalie Roca. And if you could explain for the record what this is, describing what you're wearing right now. I'm wearing a police jacket so that you can identify me as a detective, but in the field, I would just be wearing normal clothes as everybody's wearing here today. I'd have everything covered up so that, Ms. Roca, you have a polo shirt on. I do, a polo shirt, a golf shirt with blue jeans. Okay, so the detectives in your unit all have some type of additional technical training? They do. They've all, again, attended training at our TID, which is responsible for downloading the videos, surveillance video. I believe all of them have also attended the FBI Academy that teaches downloading of video surveillance. So there are different types of units and programs, and there's hundreds, and I mean, there's so many out there, and they all have their own little unique features. So it takes quite a long time to get the expertise to learn the nuances of all of them, but to accurately download. Exactly. And you recover that. This is a grand juror question, and Mr. McKinney has one as well. When you're retrieving the video surveillance from these cameras, how often is the time not accurate? That's a good question. A lot of time, it depends on Pacific Standard Time, as opposed to clocks change back and forth. People don't generally change their systems. So depending on when they were installed, if it was during Standard Time or Daylight Savings Time, a lot of them are an hour off that way. A lot of times when the power goes out and then it comes back on, the time has not reset, so they're off that way. So I would say more often than not, they are not the correct time, and that's sort of, like I say, the first thing we do is to make sure of the time, because so often they're not accurate. Okay, thank you. Mr. McKinney? By Mr. McKinney. This is a question from the grand jury. Are we looking at a full resolution copy of what you collected or a compressed video file? So, this video was placed on an external hard drive. It is then downloaded onto our computers back at the office, and then it is burned onto a disk, and this disk is given to the defense or to the investigating officers. And what they provide to the district attorney's office, I'm not sure if they provided the disk to the district attorney's office or if they provided a copy of the disk. Miss Annalie Roca, but it would be the entirety of whatever you recovered. Yes, Ms. Roca. That's then given to the defense if a case is filed? Correct. Okay. And is there any video on this? This is another grand jury question. And how often do you find video on outdoor surveillance cameras? Well, most of the homicide scenes that we respond to is some sort of video. Whether it actually captured the shooting, that is not that's more rare than catching, say, the car, the suspect vehicle coming or leaving. But the actual shooting, that is not as common as at least some portion of the crime. I wouldn't say the shooting is caught all the time or with regularity, but some portion of the crime is caught more often than not. And how about audio? Audio is very rare. Okay. Any additional questions for this witness? Okay. No further questions. Madam Foreperson, if you could please admonish the witness. The foreperson. Before you leave, please listen carefully to what I'm going to say to you now. You are admonished not to reveal to any person except as directed by the court what questions were asked or what responses were given, or any other matters concerning the nature or subject of the grand jury's investigation which you learned during your appearance before the grand jury, unless and until such time as the transcript of this grand jury proceeding is made public. I wish to advise you that a violation of this order can be the basis of a contempt of court charge against you. Do you understand this admonition? Yes, ma'am. Thank you, detective. You're excused. The witness. Thank you. Miss Annalie Roca. Have a nice day. The witness. Thank you. The witness exited the grand jury hearing room. Miss Annalie Roca. Should we check and see if witness number 1 is available? Mr. McKinney, I'd like to call another video witness, just to keep them together. Miss Annalie Roca. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Who is that? Mr. McKinney. Thorsten Timmermans. Ms. Roca. Number 6 on our 4-person statement. The witness entered the grand jury hearing room.